Hey lambs, Ky here, back for another Ky Rants. Today, I'm just giving you a short update on the Carlee Russell case. I wanted to do a different Ky Rants, but after coming back from my trip, which if you want to know more about my trip, I'll be posting about it in my Patreon, which by the way, Ky Rants is sponsored by Patreon, www.patreon.com/should-love-and-murder. Go over there if you want to hear more about my little mini vacation that I just went on, or if you want to support Love and Murder, it'll be greatly appreciated. Anyways, I wanted to do a different Ky Rants today, but coming back from my trip, I don't know. I think I'm getting the flu, so I feel really sick. So I didn't have time to prepare anything, but I wanted to give you all the update of Carlee Russell. So if you don't remember who Carlee Russell is, you might remember this story where a girl went missing. The last thing was that she had called her mom, and CCTV showed that she had gotten off the side of the road and her car was just sitting there. When police arrived, they just found like her wig and her purse, I think. And her mom said over the phone, she said there was a little boy on the street and she was going to help him. And then there was a scream and then silence. Fast forward, we found out that, she just showed up at her house. Later on, she says that, none of this happened. She made it up. Because I guess her story was completely falling apart whenever she was talking to police. Nothing was making sense. Everything fell apart. And so she admitted that she made it up. So what we were waiting for was the verdict. What was going to happen to her now? So she was found guilty of falsely filing police reports, and she was sentenced to a year in prison. She also was ordered to pay $18,000 in restitution to, I guess, because remember, they had 3 different law enforcement offices looking for her, 3 different types of law enforcement offices helping to look for her, as well as, volunteers helping her parents to look and everything like that. So she's ordered to pay $18,000 in restitution and spend the year in prison. Quote, her decisions that night created panic and alarm for citizens of our city and even across the nation as concern grew that a kidnapper was on the loose using a small child as bait, which is correct. Everybody was like, all these tales of people using children as bait came up. Everybody, it was a whole thing, and everybody was worried about her, not only her parents, but volunteers. Everybody was worried about her. Quote, we don't see this as a victimless crime. There was significant hours spent, resources expended as a result of this investigation. So even though she only has 1 year in prison, because this was a misdemeanor charge, the municipal judge, Brad Bishop, gave her the maximum penalty. So that was the maximum penalty he can give. And of course, her attorneys are trying to appeal this. Quote, they're trying to add some jail time, which we totally disagree with. I think she understands what has happened. She has apologized for what transpired. Okay, and? So she did all this. She racked up police hours. Who do you think is going to pay for that? Me? I'm not paying for a liar. So she racked up police manhunt hours, when they could have been actually tracking other children who are really lost. She racked up those hours, and we're supposed to be like, well, she apologized. She understood what she's done. So, okay. No, absolutely not. I want to go back and kind of talk about when this first happened, when she came back. And I don't know if y'all listened to the previous episodes, but I do have previous episodes about this case as it was unfolding. So you can go back and listen to those. But when she first came back, when this story broke, I remained silent because I wanted to see what was happening. Obviously, I didn't know, if it was a hoax, if she was kidnapped. I took it at face value. I figured she was kidnapped. I thought it was kind of weird because when I saw the video, I didn't see any child. And I looked. I rewound and I looked. You know how many times I watched that video? I didn't see any child. And at how far she pulled up, I was like, how fast is that little baby walking? And then I looked in the headlights. I didn't see any child. So I was like, well, maybe it's just me. Maybe, maybe. I'm second guessing myself. Then when she came home, the first thing I thought was, that's weird. And I always thought it was funny. To this day, I still think it's funny how other contenters came out and was like, oh, the true crime community is loving this. Y'all don't believe anything. Y'all would have loved if she had died, right? And it's like, that's not what it is. There was no evidence of what she was saying. That's what we were saying. And I still hadn't actually said anything because I was really just trying to wait for facts to emerge. When people came out and said that, like, y'all just want her to die and then you'll be happy so you have your little true crime show. First of all, I'm not speaking for all true crimers. I'm speaking for myself. No, we don't want anybody to die. The true crime podcast that I have out, speaking personally for myself, that I have out, is to call attention to what happened to the victim and possibly where it went wrong in doing the research, in investigations, first of all, in it happening in the first place. So no, the goal is not to have people die, but to call light into the fact that this shouldn't have happened. And if it did happen, if the investigation was messed up, for instance, because there are a lot of officers who do a good job at investigation, but there are some officers or offices who don't. And if there's an error in the investigation, I call light to that too. So it's not about, oh, yay, another victim. Woo, another episode. Are you crazy? Who does that? But the thing was, there was no evidence from the video to the time she showed up. There was no evidence to back up anything she was saying. And look, if you disagree with me, feel free to tell me in the comments. I really want to hear. In the beginning portions of this investigation, before it even came out that she lied, what did you think? Did you think that there was sufficient evidence to back up her claim? Did you look at the video? Or were you one of the ones who felt that true crimers were just jumping on this because it was true crime? I really want to know. I'm not going to take offense to it. I just want to know. Anyways, now, throughout all of this, the nation is watching. 3 different departments stopped what they were doing to search for her. People stopped their lives to search for her. Allegedly, her parents didn't know what was happening. I don't know. I can't tell or not tell if they did or didn't. But let's say they didn't. So your parents are worried sick about you. All that is going on. You're taking away from other real investigations. And according to her lawyers, we should just say, oh, she understands what she did and she said sorry. If she understood what she did, she wouldn't have done it in the first place. Am I wrong? If she understood what she did while she was formulating it in her head, she'd have said, you know what? This is a dumb idea. I'm not going to do this. And why did she do it? Because she was trying to make her ex-boyfriend feel sorry for her and come back to her? Really? Okay. And we're supposed to say, hey, she understands what she did. Like I said, there are some lawyers I would love to interview on my podcast. Reach out to me. If you agree with these lawyers and you think that, she understood what she did, she shouldn't have to go to jail, reach out to me. I'd love to talk to you. Those kind of people I would love to talk to, the kind of people who represent blatant murderers. They murdered children and you're representing them, trying to keep them out of jail or trying to, give them a reduced sentence or trying to appeal I want to talk to you. I want to see what is going through your head. Because the only thing I could think of is money. And is money really that worth it? I guess according to you it is. But whatever. Anyways, she's getting a year in jail. She has to pay back some money, a lot of money, which who do you think is going to pay that back? I don't think it's going to be her. And I really don't think that she learned anything personally. Even if she spends a year in jail, I think it's going to be very cushy for her. She's not going to have to work for her commissary, her books, anything like that. Her parents are going to take care of her because I'm going to say, in my opinion, I'm not going to say I don't know them personally. In my opinion, from what I'm gathering based on everything she did, they seem like the type of parents that no matter how bad she's been, they still, oh, no, you're not that bad. You're not bad. No, here's a pony. Here's a this. Here's a that. And she never learned her lesson. This is what I feel. I could be wrong. I don't know the people. This is just my opinion. So I don't think they're going to have her work her ass off to pay off that money. I think they're going to pay it off. I think they're going to really push for that appeal so she doesn't have to do prison. Maybe try and get it to be like house arrest or something like that, slap on the wrist. Even if she does have to go to jail for a year, I think it's not going to be, like, for instance, me going to jail or something, somebody else going to jail without rich parents. This is what I feel. Now, maybe I'm being a little bit too harsh, but this case completely pissed me off, so I think my harshness is warranted. But if you disagree with me, as usual, feel free to tell me in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, whether you agree or disagree. Go back and listen to, if you're not familiar with this case, you can go back and listen to all the previous episodes. I think I have 2 or 3 of this case in whatever platform you're on, but you can go to Spreaker and search Carlee Russell, and it'll bring up all the episodes I've done on her. And you can basically listen to each episode from the beginning and as it progressed, as the case progressed. And I guess, unless anything else comes up, this is the final piece of the puzzle. So she's going to jail. And that is all I have for you in this Ky Rants. Please don't forget to support Love and Murder by going to my Patreon, patreon.com/Love and Murder, and becoming a subscriber. That's all I have for you today. I'll see you in the next rant. Bye.